Complications from hay fever. Hay fever is generally just a nuisance, but sometimes it becomes more than that. There are a few complications from hay fever that can develop, and it is good to be aware of them so you can spot them when they do. Knowing these complications will help you to be able to combat them if they show up. Intensifying asthma. Hay fever and asthma play off each other in a negative way. If you have asthma, hay fever will make it worse. When an individual has both of these conditions, they must be sure to keep both of them under control. If not, a serious or even fatal episode could happen. If you have asthma, it goes without saying that you should always have your emergency medication on hand, and this is even more important during allergy season. Ear infections. Ear infections are an unfortunate side effect of hay fever that sometimes develop. They are not a common side effect, but that is no consolation to those who develop this painful condition. It happens when the lining in the eustachian tube membrane becomes inflamed in a reaction to pollen. A person's ears can feel blocked as a result. Sinusitis. Sinusitis is another complication that can arise from hay fever. It is inflammation of the nasal sinuses. When your nasal passages swell in reaction to hay fever, this prevents the drainage of mucus from the sinuses, which can lead to infections. Some individuals find painkillers to be a help in reducing the pain of sinusitis, but antibiotics sometimes become necessary if there is a severe infection. Brain fog and depression. Those who experience hay fever often feel brain fog. This generally causes you to feel irritable and unable to concentrate. Hay fever can even get to the point where depression sets in, and some individuals testify to the fact that certain times of year leave them feeling not at their peak in any way. If you feel that your hay fever is setting off a negative state of mind, contact your doctor or other healthcare practitioner to find ways to reduce the symptoms so that you can step onto the path of recovery instead of being in complete misery. Anaphylaxis. This is a serious side effect that can happen with hay fever. If you ever feel any symptoms of anaphylaxis, or your throat or face begins to swell, or if you develop a wheeze that could indicate that your throat is tightening, call an ambulance or find a way to the nearest emergency room. Anaphylaxis is life-threatening and must be tended to immediately. The longer you have hay fever, the more remedies you will find that help you cope with it. Fortunately, hay fever is more often simply a seasonal discomfort, and not a long-term problem. Sometimes complications do arise, though, so it is wise to be prepared and know what you can do to counteract any of them. Armed with this knowledge, you will be ready to fight hay fever and all its companion issues when necessary.